So today's message, I did like a one card pull just because I wanted to feel into it. And it said, trust that you have enough resources to get you by. So this feels like I'm speaking to the people that took the jump, that took the leap from their old life into a new life, and you're in that transitional state. So of course the funny thing is, if you have been watching me in my recent messages, again, they all feel connected, and I know that I call in a specific kind of collective that is very spiritually attuned, the outcast, the black sheep, the individual that just knows they are destined for more, and they've had to overcome so many challenges and obstacles in life. And you can also resonate with being like a generational curse breaker. That's just who I call in. Just gonna say it. And if you resonate with that, then you know that this message is for you. And especially if you've been seeing the last couple of my messages, like, this is totally meant for you, and this is who I'm speaking to. And again, always check in with yourself to make sure that these messages are landing and they resonate with you, right? But yeah, it when I was tuning into that message that came out, it definitely felt like it was for a collective that took a leap, took a jump into the unknown, and you took that jump because you were led to. You felt the calling, the divine tapped you on the shoulder and said, it's time. Um, and you've always envisioned this like different life for you, and you knew it was time to surrender, to sur- yeah, it's not even like you were forcing the change. It was mostly like you surrendered and allowed the things that needed to fall away to fall away. Like, you just were like, listen, if this isn't meant for me, let them leave, let them go, let them out of my life. Like, you had no resistance. And I'm not saying that this was easy for you to get to, no, because there are a lot of like survival patterns that you had to transmute. But you were just getting to that point of like, I'm done trying to make things happen or live a lie that I'm really happy in whatever life that you created for yourself. And so, yeah, it wasn't about like you wanting to dismantle things. It was more so like you came into that next level of co-creation with you and the divine, where you surrendered. You were just like, I let go, and if things are meant to fall apart, then I surrender to that. Like, you just got to that point because you know where you're headed towards. You know where you're supposed to go. And if that meant trading in your old life for the new one, you were getting to that point. And again, oh, sorry, my cat. You were getting to the point, um, of just allowing to let it all crumble. You were getting to that point. And whatever stuck, and whatever didn't, like you were like, then it's not meant to. And I just want to let you know, like, that takes a very brave soul. Like, I know I speak and I call in very brave, resilient souls. So if you're here, you're one of those souls, because I know that's just who I call in. Just saying it like it is. Um, but yeah, you could be at this place right now where, again, like, you're spiritually fatigued. And it's kind of similar to the message of like feeling unseen and unheard that I did a few days ago. And like, yeah, you have this relationship with the divine, and yes, you get signs and synchronicities from the divine. You could have experienced that, yeah, but it doesn't, like, you're still at this point where it's like you're spiritually fatigued of like going and going and going. And like, for the last few days, I've had this image of, it's like you're walking in the desert and it's hot, but like unbearably hot. And what keeps you going is the vision. And you keep like trying to trust, and you have like your little bag of whatever food, and you do have water, and you're like, you're taking those in, but you're also just being very mindful of like not, for example, eating the whole bag in one day or drinking the whole bottle of water. You're just being mindful. You take what you need and then you continue on. And at times you do like find, you know, like some food somewhere or some water, but ultimately it has been sparse. And so like, that's what I'm saying. It's like you're fatigued, and I get it. And it's completely okay to admit that you're fatigued. Absolutely. You've been carrying this weight on your own for so long, and you keep going like that. That's what I mean, like, that you're a resilient and brave soul, because it's like, no matter what gets thrown at you, and no matter like just what's happening, you keep going, you keep going. You're like, okay, like like you might even like get to points where like you fall, and even if like you kind of like stay there lying on the ground, you eventually get back up. You always find the strength within yourself to get back up and keep going. So yeah, the message of like, you have enough resources to get you by just means like, you for I took it as like a few different layered messages in that. First, that you do have enough resources in terms of like the bag that you have and the food that you have, like whatever, outer resources, you have enough to still keep going. I know it probably feels very different than from where you were, where it felt like more abundance. But again, that abundance wasn't actually like built on anything solid, which is why it most likely collapsed, right? Um, but you do have enough. I know it's nice to want more, and it's completely different from where you came from, but just realize that you're rebuilding yourself, you're rebuilding your life, and you're rebuilding it on a much stable ground. Like, you're a much stable foundation where when you finally have that built, it will always support you, and it will support you and also like generations to come. Like, that's what you're building. because no one ever had anything like that for you set up. This is why I said like you're a generational curse breaker, is because everyone that came before you, you know, they had certain patterns, certain beliefs, certain like traumas and pain, and you came in to be like, all right, I'm ending this, I'm transmuting this, I have to rebuild everything so that for the future, me and then whoever else, whether you even have kids or you don't, like you still end up leaving something behind, right? It's going to be built on a solid foundation, right? So trust that, yeah, the resources that you currently have now that are outside of you, they're enough to get you by to the next chapter, because the next chapter is beginning soon. It really, truly is. You won't be left dry. You've come too far, and your relationship with the divine is like so strong that it is always going to provide for you, especially whenever you absolutely need it, right? So trust in the resources that you have to get you by to this new world, to this new cycle, to this new chapter. And also, what that meant to me, trust the resources within, meaning your intuition, your connection with the divine, of like when to take the right steps or when to take the right actions, when to talk to the right people, or when things come to you, just trust that it is in divine timing and supposed to be in that perfect way. But then also to trust the resources and gifts that you have within to create the life that you want, meaning tapping in to the emotions of how you're living your life then, right? Again, the mind, our subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what we're currently experiencing and what we imagine, right? So tune into that feeling, and this does not mean to bypass what you're currently feeling. No, I believe feel the feelings that come up within you to transmute them, but don't dwell in them, right? And then always have some sort of a practice or ritual to be tapping into the feelings that you want to be feeling when you finally are living this life, right? Because that's accessible to you right here and right now, right? Um, and there was an element of like, make sure that you're expressing your truth, your gifts, because again, the people that I'm talking to, like, you guys have gifts within you, like you have something within you that this world is waiting to see. So if you're still kind of hiding and you're unsure and scared and you're in that perfectionism mindset, step out of that, because that's actually what's blocking you, right? Like if you're always going to be in this stage of I can't release things because I need to be perfect, you're never going to get there, because getting there is going to be messy. It's supposed to be. That's just how life is. It's not going to look perfect. And the funny thing is with that as well, ooh, sorry, I just got like intense ringing in my I guess spirit was like, yes, this is a very important message right now. Wow, that literally, I've never had that happen where it like hit me out of nowhere. Um, I kind of lost my train of thought, but I was talking about perfectionism. When you're always wanting things to be 1,000% perfect, like you're never going to get there, right? So you kind of need to release your gifts in however way, shape, or form that you know currently how, and just realize that it's going to expand and grow and get better over time. But you have to start. You just have to start. So if you're still in that stage of I can't because it needs to look like X, Y, and Z, or I need X, Y, and Z, like Get out of that. Just start. Who cares if it's messy? Who cares if it doesn't look right, right? You're going to expand and grow over time as you move along. And just remember that, like, not enough people are going to see it at first, really care. And 1,000%, a lot of people aren't going to care. If you have something valuable to share with the world, share it. Who cares how it's going to look like, right? You just need to start. And if you are currently sharing, great. Keep doing that. This is just like your confirmation to keep sharing your gifts and your truth within with the world, because that is what's also going to get you by. Again, if you're on the journey of sharing your gifts and your truths and you don't care how it looks like, you're not in that perfectionism mindset, and you're like releasing your gifts and your truths, you could be in the place where it's like, yeah, I'm sharing, I'm doing, it still doesn't look a certain way, or it's not getting the attention that it needs, etc., etc. Just know it will. Just keep going. Keep listening to the divine. Keep listening to your intuition of how to refine that, how to, what's the next thing. Keep listening and keep walking this path, because it'll just get better and better and better, and more people will see it, and you'll start understanding like your own craft, your own gift, your own truth and expression, right? Which is completely unique to you. So it can never look like somebody else's, right? But ultimately, like, keep going, because it will get better. And like, yeah, I'm just understanding with this, like, I really am talking to people who are very creative in whatever way, shape, or form, whether you're an author, singer, writer, painter, like, or you make content, like, it does not matter. There is some sort of creative, artistic aspect within you that wants to be shared, right? And yeah, just don't compare yourself to others and where others are on their journey, because you don't know when they started. That's the thing about this. And like, oftentimes with people's success, either they don't share how their process has been, right? Like, once they get to this like successful point, oftentimes it's like you find them that way, but you don't know how it's been for them, or it's built on illusions. Because as I mentioned before, and I don't know which video or reading, we are coming to a time where, yeah, and I'm getting just like another, like, oh my gosh. I've always had that happen to me, the ringing in the ear, since I was little, and I always knew that that was like something, you know, I always knew it was like spirit talking to me, but I haven't had that for a while happen. And like today, it's just been wow, especially during this message. Um, but what I was gonna say is, we are coming to a time now where a lot of the false leaders and a lot of the false like businesses that weren't built on solid structure, that's all crumbling. That's all crumbling. So people who look successful, who are doing X, Y, and Z, you actually might be seeing their downfall, because this is the time that we're entering of truth. And if someone is not operating in integrity and truth, masks are being dropped. Masks are being dropped, and we're seeing the realness of what's actually going on. And I actually came from a place I used to work, that was built on this. And then when I saw the inside out, I was so shocked to see that, like, how much falseness was in that. So, if you are operating in integrity and in truth, which I do believe, because again, this is just who I call in, your time is coming. So don't pay attention to all the other people who are successful and are, making it and it looks perfect. Don't pay. If you have to unfollow them, unfollow them and concentrate on your path and what you're creating and what you're putting out there, because again, that going back to that message of you have enough trust, that you have enough resources to get you by, that's within and without. Most importantly, within, of trusting and knowing that you are headed down the right path and you are going to start your new cycle and your new chapter, and you have gifts within you that this world needs, and it will get you to this new chapter. It will get you to the life that you've always wanted and thought of and dreamt of. It is all within you. So yeah, take this as your confirmation. If you are kind of in the head and like stressed out or worried or whatever, you're going to get there. You are going to get there. Take a moment, breathe, feel, transmute, and let go of the pressures. Continue on your journey and just believe that it is all happening for you. And that like light at the end of the tunnel is so close. It is so close. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end this here because I just feel like the message is complete here. Um, but yeah, I would love, like, if you feel called to, share your gifts down below. Like, what are you creating? What are you putting out in the world that is meant to inspire and help humanity? Share it. This is your chance. Share it. Start putting it out there. As always, I have my Akashic reading report and my soul mapping session linked down below. So if you feel called, you can just click on the link and it'll give you more information about that. Yeah, but other than that, I'm wishing you a wonderful day and keep going because you're almost there. You're almost there. Alrighty, I'm sending you so much love and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.